What's up, guys? Ken over here at Backbodymystery.
This is Diamond back in the house.
Right now, we're in recovery. Today, we're going to be talking about video game tournaments, esports, but mainly fighting game tournaments, and we're going to be touching on the Video Game Awards since that is coming up next month in December. But before I get started, slap, like, and share, subscribe. That's the best way to support the channel. The first recognized esport event was held in 1970 at Stanford University, featuring a game called Space Wars. One of the earliest video games, as far as Space Wars, Galactic, Space Invaders, things of that nature. It's kind of in that universe. But the prize for that tournament in the 70s was a year subscription to Rolling Stone magazine. When I first read that, I thought Rolling Stone was like, what the hell? But at the time, Rolling Stone was huge. But me and you played in tournaments. What do you think about that being like the first prize of a I guess recognized tournament?
Well, I think back then, what magazine was the go-to thing. Magazines, Rolling Stone, Playboy, all the other stuff that we used to watch back then or read. But Rolling Stones, we're talking about the subscription.
Yeah, the subscription magazine. You pay for it and they have it mailed to your house. That was the prize for that tournament.
I kind of think everybody was doing that, like, even along with like the Muscle Fit magazines and like some of like even now. Do they still even do the game magazines, like what they used to be called?
Nintendo Power was one of the bigger ones. Microsoft and Sony magazine. Yeah. The only one that I think that's kind of left as digital is like Game Informer and a few other ones that are online. But the ones that I kind of miss, kind of stepping away a little bit, is like the Cheat Code magazine.
Oh yeah.
And then you remember when you used to go to like, maybe it was Borders, the bookstore, and you used to get like the magazine that got the demo code.
You read the code, then you gotta try to go home and like put the code in your video game. What was the Action Replay Mac or something like that?
Yeah, Action Replay, and then there was another like Code Breaker.
Yeah,
there's a few of them, and it's one big one that I'm missing. But Action Replay was the one where they became like with cartridges, and then Code Breaker. There's quite a few of them out there, but I just feel like to have that be a tournament, it's like I guess it was worth the money back in the day, but fighting game tournament kind of transitioned into like the 90s with the arcade boom.
Yeah. I guess as far as the prize for Rolling Stone, would you consider that a big?
I wasn't born in the 70s, so maybe having magazines, newspaper was like the best way to get information.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that was like a big thing to have a Rolling Stone subscription in your house. But as a tournament player, is that like a good prize?
Whoever played in that tournament obviously won it. So
yeah, it's a guy named Bruce. I don't know his last name, but the guy that won.
Shout out to Bruce, because you must have wanted that Rolling Stone subscription.
All right. So that was as video game transition into tournament, it transitioned to the arcade era. So some of the games that blew up was like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, things that kind of transitioned over to the arcade. But one of the big fighting game tournament that was recognized was called Battle of the Bay, which we now know as Evo. So that was like, they got brought out or transitioned over. But Evo, what do you think about Evo and how it is today? Because the word esports has always been around, but we ain't have esports arenas. Like now we got arenas.
Well, I think more of the esports is more, I think of it more of like the big giant groups with like the, at least back then, the big Halo groups would have the tournament 5-on-5, the big Call of Duties, like back then when they used to, they did have like a multiplayer type thing. But those are like more than, I forgot the other video games where they play in a big giant esports tournament where you have a whole team. I think as far as like Evo, you don't really see, unless they're doing like a tag, like a 5-on-5 or 3 versus 3. They do a lot of those now, but I don't think you see those in Evo like how you do in the big giant esports or the master tournaments. I'm forgetting what the names are, but those are more for like the single competitor, or they do like a probably a day before the tournament start, they'll do an auction off for each character. So if you're playing like Blaze, Blue, Tekken, or Street Fighter, they'll auction off each character, and it'll start at like $10, and then it'll go up to like $100 just to play with that character only in the tournament.
What?
And it's like a little tournament before the actual tournament, and it's kind of fun because you sitting in a crowd and you be like, hey, $10 on Jack or $10 on King, and then if you win that little auction, they have like a really small tournament. Only you get to play as King. Nobody else can play as King.
Does that go into the official tournament?
No, it's just some a side thing. It's like a little fun thing. It's real fun. Cause then you see people like betting on your character. Like if I get my character, no other character or person can play that character in that little small tournament. And they do it with like they usually do it for like Combo Breaker, Frosty, Faustings. I don't think it's done everywhere, but it's a kind of a known thing here. It's real fun. And they kind of do it with like each game. Like if you're playing Blaze Boo or like Guilty Gear, and then if you want to only play a sole bad guy, man, you gotta like bid. But sometimes it does get a little bit higher. Like you're playing for, let's say his bid get up to like 120. That goes into the pot.
Oh,
so you see how it can like trickle up.
That's some serious gambling. I need to get involved.
Yeah, it's real fun.
That's pretty cool.
I don't think they have a name for it because it's kind of like they don't broadcast it. It's just like, hey, we doing this. Everybody knows what it is, like when it happened. Then
Have you participated?
No, I have not.
Because
everybody trying to always get certain characters, and some people that don't play with certain characters, like they don't get bid on. But then when you play, once you bid on it, you can only play in that little small tournament. So it's not like everybody can participate because you have to bid for the character.
Dennis Fong was the first recognized professional gamer. The tournament that he won in was Red Annihilation Quake. And I think it was the 70s or whenever Quake was out. I don't think it was the 70s, but whenever Quake Annihilation was out for the PC, Quake was on PC. Yeah. He won that, and his and the prize for that was, I believe, a Ferrari.
Wow, a Ferrari?
Yeah, he was recognized as the first professional gamer. They wasn't even considering cash prizes for some of these early tournaments and early players that were recognized for winning tournaments. Big professional gamers that you probably know about is like Little Majin. Little Majin, he always playing with King and Tekken. And you got Dennis Fong, the one I should recognize. And you got Double Lift. I don't know if you know who Double Lift is, but those are some big names that are out there. And then you got what's the other one that was playing Street Fighter Third Strike? Justin Wong and Daigo. Yeah. That Street Fighter Third Strike moment. Everybody always bring that back because that's like a huge historic moment. But let me ask you a question about going into fighting game tournament. A couple of years ago, when we used to play Tekken 5 and Tekken 4 a lot, you made a statement that always made to me that you're only as good as the small circle that you're playing with.
Yeah.
How do you know going into or preparing for a tournament that the group that you're playing with at home or your local friends, how do you know when you're not minimizing your experience by only playing with them, but then go out to a tournament and play with people you never played with before? How do you know when to break the two apart?
Because if you're always winning against your friends, you're technically never learning. Only time you truly learn is when you, or at least in my opinion, you truly learn is when you lose. If you're always winning, like you're on top, you're not learning anything because everybody is trying to beat you. They're the ones that have to continue to learn and try to how to beat me. But I don't have to learn how to beat a person that I'm always beating. If you're only playing with your small circle, you're not really like gaining any experience, especially if because sometimes when you're playing your friends, when you really trying, you're like, he can have this round, make him feel good about himself. Like, especially when you're playing your friends, like it does happen and they will get on your nerves. You will get on their nerves and you're going to talk smack. But there is going to be a certain point where your skill level exceed theirs, or they'll just keep getting lower and lower. Like, oh, hey, you always spamming this one move over and over. I can punish that. Stop throwing that move out so easily. Or learning how to break throws. Like learning some of the fundamentals, like in the video game. Like certain stuff, you got to learn how to punish. You shouldn't let your opponent get away with certain things. But also, when you go to a tournament, you can be playing your friends for like 6 months straight, always winning. As soon as you go to a tournament, you lose in the first round in the first pool. You'll feel pretty shitty.
Practicing online with online rank versus practicing a non-ranked match. How do you know when you're actually getting better if you're playing online? Then take that to a tournament. Because I feel like the way I learned how to get better, I go in like the practice mode and I'll turn like the hardest difficulties up, but then I also adjust their blocking settings when the character is blocking, and then have them adjust the setting for the computer character to like always throw and counter when I do a throw and counter. Do you believe practicing like that help you?
I think certain fighting games doesn't give you the full capability of being able to utilize practice mode like how you fully should. I think Street Fighter does it very well, because when Street Fighter came out, they had this AI where you play against the AI and you had the full difficulty, and there was a bunch of videos online of everybody getting beat by Ryu. He just parrying everything. It was like the AI and it was really good, but sometimes it can be a little bit overbearing because you be like, nobody's that good. The AI can be that good. I think Tekken now, it has a whole lot of better tools in the practice mode. Like, I like the replay thing. Like when you play a match online in Tekken, it saves the replay, and then you can go back and watch that replay and pause during the replay, take control of the character, and you can be like, and the game will tell you should have punished this, or it'll tell you what you should have done in that moment. You know,
Tekken lets you do that now?
Yeah, like you can look at the recording, and then you be like, let me take control right here in this moment in the second or third round, where this is where the match shifted, what I should have did or what I shouldn't have did. Like, yeah, that's a real good feature.
But see, that we was talking about this in one of the other episodes. Do you believe stuff like that help the novice player get to a professional level, or do you feel like you as a tournament player or a fighting game player should be practicing without all them tools?
You should. A lot of people are not going to use it. Like just the honest truth. A lot of people are not going to use it. A lot of people prefer to more go to a tournament because you watch people, you watch how they play, you watch what they're punishing, what you should be doing, what moves you shouldn't be doing. Because whenever you're playing a fighting game, you're not using every move, because some moves are just like don't make any sense. Like if you throw this move out, you're going to get punished unless your opponent just get hit by it, and then you just take a gamble. But it's always best to get better at the travel, go to tournaments, not just the local. You have to travel. You have to go to other places. You may win all your matches, or you may lose all your matches, but losing those first two matches, it'll make you feel real shitty.
All right. So if you're in a video game tournament, when you sit down at the table, like where we are, right, that screen is right there. Mm-hmm. What makes you more nervous, when somebody bring out a arcade stick, or if somebody brings out the 6-button fighting pad?
Neither. That doesn't affect me, because that doesn't. It's whichever one you're comfortable with. I think the all-button arcade stick is still relatively new.
Really?
Yeah, it hasn't been out that long. The all-button.
The all-button. Okay.
Just all-button.
But if you're competing at the highest level, would you change up your strategy if they have one or the other, or versus just a regular controller? Because I see people that play like this, right, with their fingers like this, or even sometimes like that, or they'll kind of cross over their thumbs between the buttons and the D-pad.
Well, when you're playing like this, that's more of an arcade player. That means typically an older person like myself played in the arcade days, so you had to play like that, and you either have the joystick like in your palm or on your two fingers like this, because you press them back and forth like this, or you're moving like that. Because a joystick either have an octagon or a circle or a box. I'm not sure if you understand that. It's the box that sits in when it moves around. It either be a square box or an octagon or a circle. Everybody has their different play style, but it helps you press down, forward, or up, right at the same time without having to really, you got to press down, forward. Yeah. And, how you do a shoryuken or stuff like that. It makes it easier, but it all depends on where the arcade or the joystick in your hand. Now, what I have been seeing is people playing with the joystick on the right side. That's been fairly new. But those are custom.
You mean the arcade, the analog stick on the right side?
Yeah, on the right side, because whether it's your right-handed or left-handed, and they press.
Oh, that's interesting.
But it all. But as far as the arcade stick or D-pad, like that doesn't make me. What makes me a little bit nervous is getting to a tournament. It's cold in there, and I haven't warmed up. And my first match, my hands are freezing. That is the worst.
I was watching a documentary on YouTube, and they was talking about how some people cheat. Like outside of like the regular, when they're messing with the equipment, things like that. They were like, some people cheat by like passing gas a lot, or they come sit down. They like really musty and like throwing off the other opponent because they've been sitting in it. They've been sitting. They're just used to the smell. But you be like,
yeah,
like what the hell?
Like sometimes they'll put out like notice and stuff and be like, please wash your butt, put on deodorant. Like, we do have women here, and you have people that's walking around with their family and kids, and it does happen. People do be coming there smelling, and it'd be real bad. Like, yeah.
What do you believe right now is gonna be like the biggest fighting game of 2025? Right now, we know Tekken delayed itself when Street Fighter came out later. You think they did that on purpose?
No, I don't think so. I think they do it based upon the demand for it and a product. Because you don't want to put a fighting game out, then immediately have to come out with an update for it. Because I always think back then when you had like Tekken 3, Tekken 5, Tekken 4, they didn't have updates for those. It just you got all the characters like old Street Fighter. I don't know about Street Fighter. Street Fighter always been adding more characters, but some games you don't have those. Well, back then you don't have those big updates where they adjust frame data, make an attack or a move like less damaging or more damaging.
Tekken, according to what I looked up, Tekken was supposed to launch within the same launch window as Street Fighter, but it didn't. It came out later.
Capcom.
What?
You know, they always try to beat the game to get the people playing the game first. I think it's just the community out there now. Whichever one, you know. But Tekken did come out with test beta. They did like 3 series of test beta where you can play the game. The first round, I think they had Paul, Jen, and Nina. Then the second one, you had more characters. Then the game came out. But you know, video games don't do demos anymore.
Well, they do the online betas.
Yeah.
In a tournament, are you more concerned when somebody is waiting for you to select your character, or when somebody's sitting there hovering around somebody and you think they may select King or Nina or whatever? And I'm just talking Tekken in general because I know you play Tekken a lot. But do you wait for the next person to select their character, or do you just select whoever you want and like it is what it is?
I mean, it gives me an idea of their play style of who they're gonna pick when they pick whatever character. Because the first thing you're gonna do is when you sit down is adjust your setting, map out your controller, make sure the D-pad work and all the other stuff. Turn off the vibration if you turn off the vibration on your controller, or plug up your mic. Because a lot of times when you go to the tournament, they don't have, besides the streaming stage or the main stage, all the other games and stuff, they don't have headphones, so you just playing there like not listening to any sound, and it can be bad. Most people just play it without the sound. I can't do that. I bring my headphones.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it get real bad. Do you hear everybody talking in the background, like, you know, your friend there kick his ass? You know, it's real bad. Like, it can be real bad.
Why have you got away from playing in tournaments? Because I stopped playing tournaments because, you know, life.
Well, I took a nice little break. I mean, because it can be stressful, and then traveling. You know, if you ain't, you know, some people got sponsors where they fly out. I don't know what their sponsored package is, but usually I go to the big tournament here in Illinois. But it's just like traveling can be a hassle. It can be stressful. You know, putting all that stress on yourself, especially if you have well, some people do it for a living.
Yeah, you know, it's funny you talk about that. I was reading that some of these major league gamers, they have like therapy sessions to reduce their anxiety. They have meditation sessions before they go out to a tournament. They exercise. Like, I remember one player was talking about how his hands can freeze up and jam. They take fish oil, cod oil, just to help their hands so they don't get stuck. They have, I was watching, I forgot the name of the group, but they were playing in Overwatch. And they having meetings, conference calls about who gonna take the lead, who gonna go first. It's like it's a real business. Yeah,
but it's a big difference when you have the team versus when you go into a singles competitor tournament. I know one thing that always calm my nerve down is just having a drink. I'm drinking a beer, 2 shots of tequila, whatever the case may be. Like, that always helps. The cold hands is a big thing because it feels like your hands are slowing down and you don't react as fast because your hands are cold and you're doing like this all the time and you're trying to warm your hands. So it can be terrible. But yeah, it's just the mindset you got to have, and then it's stressful, especially when that's your only way to make money, or if that's how you make money. You got to win that prize or becoming top 8 or whatever the case may be. But a lot of people are going to stream and Twitch trying to make their money there. I know some people use stream or Twitch or YouTube where they get paid and they use that money to pay for their flight and travel and hotel to go to these big tournaments. Sometimes people get invited.
Okay.
So sometimes people like send me tournaments online and stuff like that, and like, hey, can you come out? You know,
it's a real lifestyle. Right now, we're gonna get into some hot take questions. We're gonna talk about some fighting games that you believe that will thrive in today's fighting game world or esports. And do you think they would fade away, or you think they should come back and be a part of this big esport experience that's going on? So, I'm going through the list. Do you think Bloody Roar will survive in today's esports?
Yes, because there's a high demand for it. As long as there's somebody wanting to play it, like somebody will put it out, but then somebody got to put the money behind it. But then it kind of like falls in the same thing as like a virtual fighter. Like when it comes out, there's a rise, there's a popularity, it's a peaking, but then it goes back down. Like, are they still going to cater to the people that want the game to come out, make change and make it better?
Yeah, because according to what I read online, it's Bloody Roar fell out of being popular and sales declined, and so that's what happened. But so you think if they brought it back with the right team, it'll thrive?
I think it'll be a peak for it, a rise, because it came back. But then it might die out because whatever didn't. But I don't know. I mean, how many versions was
it? I think 3.
Like, that was so long ago before the tournament scene even blew up like how it is now. Like,
okay, you think it'll what now? What?
I think they should come back. What's the game? Was it Urban Reign? You remember Urban Reign? I love that game.
Damn, Urban Reign was cold. Urban Reign was fun.
Loved that game.
Oh shit! I'm gonna make some noise. Urban Reign needs to come back.
Yeah, Urban Reign was. I love that game. That was, man. I think it had 4 players or something.
Yeah, Urban Reign was funny.
Urban Reign was shit.
Hey guys, if y'all enjoying the video, slap like and share and subscribe. That's the best way to support the channel. Let me get back to practicing on Killer Instinct and you back to the video. In today's fighting game world, do you think Bushido Blade?
Yes, 100%. I don't know why it's not being played. I think it's being played. A lot of the games, when you go to these big tournaments like Combo Breaker, they have mystery tournaments where it just, you enter the mystery tournament and then it can be whatever tournament it may be. It might be Fight Night Round 3, it might be Street Fighter 1, or it might be Clay Fighter. Like, they will literally go back to Clay Fighter. They will literally go back to like,
okay,
like it would just be a random tournament. It might be a random PC game that you never heard of. It's just a mystery tournament. Those games do get picked up. Like, yeah.
Okay, so you think if Bushido Blade got like a refresh, you think it'll make it?
I thought they did come back with another one, right?
I ain't seen no Bushido Blade.
People were playing it. They were playing it real good. But the mystery tournament do be fun because you never know what the game's gonna be. So it gives that edge. Like, I know you ain't never played a game. I ain't never played a game. We learn it as we play in this mystery tournament.
Okay, that's cool. That's pretty cool. I'm wondering. So I ain't heard never. Well, maybe because I do remember going to Frosty Fausting. Check that video out in the description. I went to Frosty Fausting and to the left side of the stage, they had all the retro stuff.
Yeah.
They had everything retro. I'm like, the retro line was like super long for people to, because they gave like a maybe like a few minute playing limit. I don't know if there was a limit, but there was definitely a retro line to the left. Do you think in today's fighting game, do you think T-Fang?
I don't know what that is.
T-Fang? You ain't play? It was on the first Xbox. No. T-Fang, okay.
I ain't played for Xbox.
So it kind of
Halo 1. Legendary, but yeah.
When Halo came out, that was fan. All right, you kind of mentioned it. Do you think so? We'll move on from T-Fang. I believe T-Fang is. I don't think T-Fang will make it. If I'm going to give my opinion about that, I don't think T-Fang will make it. But the next one, do you think if they remade, you think Clay Fighters will make it today?
No, I don't think so.
No Clay Fighters.
I mean, I still think if you come out with it, there'll be a peak. People will be interested because there's people that wasn't even born during that time and they'll be interested in playing that game. There'll be a peak, but then will the demand still be there as it's cooled down? Because like right now, like, boy, Ghostface in Mortal Kombat, man, you seen some of the dialogue. Just the dialogue is amazing. Like, whoever, I know they've been saying it online, but whoever did the dialogue for Ghostface in Mortal Kombat deserve a raise.
You know what's funny? You think about when they did Spawn, some of his intros to the fight was pretty good too. Yeah. Do you think Darkstalkers would thrive today?
Oh, Darkstalkers. Yes, I definitely do think Darkstalkers would thrive. Cause I think it's more on the realm of I don't want to say King of Fighters, because those old 2D games be still thriving. Like, they still be playing those old 2D back and forth, like classic Street Fighter. Like, they still play those even now. So, yeah.
Me, I don't think Darkstalkers would make it. And the reason I don't think Darkstalkers would make it, because it kind of got mixed in with Marvel vs. Capcom a little bit for some of the characters.
But what about the collection that just came out? Where I think it's Marvel X-Men vs. They still play that really hard.
I'm thinking if they remade it, they reintroduce it. Like, you know how we got Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5. They just keep making Tekken 7, Tekken 8. If they came back like, hey, this is a new installment, will it compete with the other games that people are going to tournament? Will these gaming leagues be like, hey, we need to incorporate this in our tournaments? Do you think it'll make it?
You can get any versus type game into any tournament if there's a demand for it. Mario Kart for the Nintendo 64 and Nintendo had almost more people buy into the pool for that than some of the games. And the only way the person that won, they got the faster time.
That was the win. That's how you won. You had the I guess.
Yeah,
I would have been like, well, I guess whoever went first place. So I guess I forgot. I'm thinking. See, when I'm thinking about, I'm thinking like who you took out, but
yeah, I get your point. Where if they brought the game back,
right.
yeah.
All right. So in today's market, you think rival schools will make it today?
Rival schools? No, I don't think so.
You don't think rival? Okay,
No,
I don't think rival schools will make it either. Now, Killer Instinct had made a comeback, but it fell off. Do you think if they put some energy into it again, that it could come back again for the third time? If that makes sense.
I think they moved away from the originality of what it was, not the arcade version, the one we had on Super Nintendo
with the black cartridge,
yeah,
with Fugor on the front.
That was amazing. That was an amazing game. I think it just got too, I don't want to say cartoony like.
Well, I mean, but you can pull off 150 combo hits.
It didn't feel the same way. I get it. If they would have kept that same idea and just expand upon it, like just like Def Jam Fight for New York. Like when it came out,
that was my game.
Like when it came out with Def Jam Icon, trash.
Sorry. Oh.
Trash.
Because they had you mixing up the music.
Yeah, trash. Like, why would you take away from the original? Like, Def Jam Fight for New York 1 and 2, great. Like 2, everybody was playing that. Everybody.
Yeah, you're right. It was dope. You think Virtual Fighter would thrive today? I believe Virtual Fighter would
They
thrive.
just announced a new one.
Really?
Yeah, Virtual Fighter 5, yeah. The trailer's out.
Oh, I'm going to look that up.
Yeah.
Okay. So that one's already got a check mark. All right. Now, this is one you may or may not remember. Marvel Nemesis Rise of the Imperfect.
Oh, my God. God. Oh,
that game was ridiculous.
I think because it's too far back and not everybody going to remember what it was. No, I don't think
You don't think so? But that game was fun.
Yeah, that game was fun.
All right, you just mentioned this one. Def Jam Fight for New York.
Yeah.
Will it work today?
Yes, if they stick to the originality of Def Jam Fight for New York, the second one, yes, it was a, because they had a tournament for it. Trust me, they did, just like Fight Night Round 3, like amazing.
Yeah, Def Jam Fight was cold.
Like I love for Def Jam Fight, like even 4, I like 4, but then it's like you moving away. I know some people like, oh, you can't parry in real life. Like, yeah, you can parry somebody punch in real life.
All right, Plasma Swords, Nightmare.
Oh my God, what? How you find all these?
Come on, man. You Plasma Sword.
I love Plasma Sword. That game was so great.
Hell yeah.
Oh man.
Oh.
Woo. That game was so great. Yeah. 100%.
When I was saying it will work today, I think it will work only if it's mixed in with Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
That's the only. By itself, I don't think it will work. But you say it work by itself?
Yeah, definitely. I think the way we looked at video games then, at least from when I grew up, is different now. You got so many more people that's, I guess, identify with certain games in different ways. They're appealed to that game and how it was. Like, what's the character? Skullavania? Everybody loves Skullavania.
Okay.
Like from, what's the Street Fighter? Is it Rival Schools?
I don't remember. It's been, I'm old.
I think it was right. But everybody loves Skullavania.
Okay.
And people would just play that game, like even like Tekken. You got people that came over from Street Fighter to play Tekken just because Akuma was in the game.
Yeah,
I didn't make no sense. Like, or some people only play Mortal Kombat. At least now, Homelander's in the game, or Omni Man, or what's John Cena's character? I forgot what his name.
John Cena. He better. I know his last year, this year. One of the fan favorites. I'm gonna end with Power Stone. Will Power Stone make it today?
Yeah, I definitely think Power Stone will make it.
You think Power Stone make it? Okay.
Definitely, because you get those people that never played it and they were like, and they enjoy it the way we did, but then, if you take away from the originality of what the game is to try to add something completely new, like get the same people that made it.
Well, it don't ever work out like that.
Yeah, it don't. Right.
What is the best fighting game engine?
The best
fighting game engine, yeah. What do you think?
Unreal.
Unreal?
Yeah.
Unreal. So Unreal is involved with the games like Tekken, right?
Tekken. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not just saying that because of Tekken, because like the mechanics I see, it just flows better. Like how it is, like the graphic, like how everything make the game. You play some games, you're like, kind of cheesy. Like I don't know what graphic engine on Street Fighter, but I think Street Fighter kind of moved away from that originality. Everybody still loves Third Strike. If they ever announce a Third Strike Part 2 or Strike 3 or whatever they want to call it, that game will blow up. Like it would be.
Well, I think if Capcom wanted to do it, they would do it. I just think they want to. It's probably new people, new board members, new team. They don't want to go back in the past, and they probably don't want to run the risk of messing up something that we consider to be great.
But look at King of Fighters. King of Fighters is still been the same. Like it didn't move away from its originality of what it was. They made the graphics look better, but it's still great. And in some tournaments, because they always scale when you look at a tournament, when you look at the registration, right? And you see what's the top game that has the most registration. They look at it like that.
Oh, okay.
And for a long time, Street Fighter was up there. Then you had Blaze Blue. Like when you go to Combo Breaker, it's a big statement when you're the last tournament being played on Sunday at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. I think this past year, Tekken was the biggest game, and it was a successful moment for at least here in Illinois, because Combo Breaker is a really big tournament, and they were celebrating like, yeah, we're the last tournament for Combo Breaker. We have the most people registered for this game. Blaze Blue be up there. Guilty Gear, Street Fighter, like some of those games, like that makes, especially when registration is like $100 and you got like 3,000 people registered for a tournament. That's a lot of money. But I'm thinking about when you say fighting game, we
talking about like how the mechanics work.
Yeah, I'm not just thinking fighting game, because Unreal Engine has ran on a lot of other games like RPGs or whatever the case may be. I'm thinking about it like that, not just only fighting games, because of course that's not the only. If we had a software that only did fighting games, that would make a big difference in my answer. But it's no fighting game engine out there like that.
Well, right. I mean, because those are mainly used. They mainly them names are normally called out for other games. So yeah, I totally understand it. The Video Game Awards, they're around the corner. So I think it's December 12th. I got the list of nominations, right? Mm-hmm. So just let me know. I'm not going to name every nomination on each category. I'm just going to kind of go through the big titles, and if you all want to see the full nomination list, check it out in the comments below for the full list. I'm just going to go over the big titles. So I'm going to get the big one out the way. So nominees for Game of the Year is Astro Boy, Black Miss Wuhan, hopefully I'm saying that right, Elden Ring, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Which one is taking it? Now, there are more in that category. I'm just naming the biggest one.
Game of the Year. Blacksmith Wuhan is not going
over. You think over Final Fantasy?
I think Final Fantasy. I don't know what maybe those the top 4 you name, but I think Final Fantasy has a really big chance of winning Game of the Year.
I think Blacksmith Wuhan gonna take it because of the hype, how much it sold when it came out, and a 10-year long advertisement campaign. I think it's only right. That's what my take is. Blacksmith Wuhan. I know you're a Final Fantasy fan. Shelter off Cloud. I already know.
No, I'm not saying that. I look at it from the perspective of the community engagement from the game. Which community you think is bigger, Blacksmith Wuhan or Final Fantasy?
Final Fantasy got to be bigger, but Blacksmith Wuhan had the biggest video game impact this year.
Yeah, but I mean, even when God of War won, like that wasn't the number one sold game, and it won.
Well, okay. Who winning?
I think based upon, cause again, you still people still have to vote or whoever that is. But
Right.
I think the community engagement is a part of it. The blogs, the conversation you have online, the emotional aspect from the game, the acting in the game, the storytelling,
The
voiceover, the dialogue. I think Final Fantasy has more of that this year because you have some people that never played the Final Fantasy on PS1, right? And they playing it for the first time. Like, I know you ain't played
Rebirth? No.
Okay,
It's over there in Majora. I got to collect it with the CD and all that.
when you beat Rebirth and you see the ending, you get people that's crying and get an emotional reaction because they never played the first one, so they see what happened and then it was like,
You better not be crying. Nobody should be crying. People die in video games. People die.
Spoiler alert. I say Final Fantasy Rebirth is gonna take it.
I say Black Myth. So we're gonna see how it goes. Best action game of the year. Black Myth Wuhan nominated Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers, Stellar Blade, or Warhammer.
I think Blacksmith might take it. You say best action game?
Best
How
action.
Call of Duty just came? You talking about Call of Duty 6?
Call of Duty 6. It's
How is it
considered
in there?
it's an action game.
God, it got in there in the category that. I think Black Myth Wuhan might take it as far as the action game, but Call of Duty is a shooter.
Hopefully I can get the wrong list offline.
Yeah,
but that's what I have.
You know, I mean, 'cause I still think of everything else like the music, the cinematic of the game. Action game. Blacksmith Wuhan.
Black Myth Wuhan again. Okay.
Yeah.
A game can win in multiple categories. I'm sticking with Black Myth Wuhan. Best action adventure game of the year. Astrobot, Prince of Persia, Silent Hill 2, which is the remake, right? Star Wars Outlaws, and then Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom.
This is what category?
Best action adventure game.
Those are not some good picks.
I didn't pick them.
What are y'all doing?
But this is what came out this year. You can't go out with. So me, Zelda's always been strong, always been a strong game. I'm gonna go with Zelda.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Zelda.
I'll go with Zelda. All right. Now you probably, it seems like we're repeating the same game, but best RPG for this year: Dragon's Dogma, Elden Ring Shadows, Final Fantasy Rebirth, Like a Dragon. Which one is taking it? Again, there are more on the list. I'm just not going over everyone. You can get the full list in the description.
I think Final Fantasy is still gonna take that one.
Me, I think Dragon's Dogma gonna take RPG of the year because Dragon's Dogma, I believe it's underrated and it's a very good RPG game. I say Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah, I didn't play that one, so I don't even know what does like everything. Could I be looking up who did the audio for it? Like,
you be going deep.
Yeah, I be going deep.
Pause.
Like, I'll be looking up some of their work to see like what games who played it, and I see some of the similar names that be on some of these games, and they work on multiple projects. When you're doing the casting, the audio, you know, best sound, it's all in those categories of whenever you pick a game for a game award. So
okay. So who you going with again?
I don't think any of the games. What is the game?
Dragon's Dogma, Elden Ring, Final Fantasy, Like a Dragon.
Final Fantasy. I'm sorry.
Okay, you making it complicated.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you is. You making it tough. Like you up there trying to give us a
Some
contact.
other games I never played. So I don't know.
So then go off your imagination.
No,
All right, best fighting game of the year: Dragon Ball Z, Sparking Zero. We have Grand Blue Fantasy. We have Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Game Collection Arcade Classic. I don't know why it's detailed like that. Multiverses, and then Tekken 8.
I think it's going to be between Marvel versus Capcom, Tekken, and it's in between the Capcom.
I don't think the fighting game collection is gonna take it because it's just reintroducing the game. I think Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is gonna take it.
Yeah, I think Dragon Ball probably between Dragon Ball or Tekken. Would it be the first time Tekken even be in a category?
No, absolutely not.
No, it wouldn't be.
So you say who again?
I think Dragon Ball might take it.
Yeah, I say Dragon Ball takes that one. For sure. All right, best sports / racing: WWE 2K24, Top Spin, 2K25, NBA, EA Sports FC 25, and F1 2024. Who's taking that?
What was the second name you said?
Top Spin.
I think Tom Smith might take it.
The tennis?
But usually the yeah.
Really?
No, FIFA not on there.
No.
Oh, well, I don't know about
I don't even think they do FIFA. I think they dropped the name. I could be wrong. Yeah, no, it's FC, I believe. That's it. EA Sports FC. Hopefully I'm not wrong.
Yeah, usually the EA Sports games win. I mean,
really?
I mean, it's about the community and how many people are actually playing it online, and I don't know what their voting criteria.
I think wrestling is gonna take it. Wrestling is hot right now.
Yeah.
I think WWE needs to hone this one in. I think wrestling gonna take it. That's my take.
I ain't been seeing that many people play that game like that. Bro.
Well, wrestling was. I love WWE. I love it, right? But a couple of games ago, they were pretty bad. Then they took a break. I think it was WWE Battleground. Whenever WWE Battleground came out, that's when they took their break and just like re-overhauled it. The last two have been great.
Okay, I ain't played the last two.
So
no, I did play when we went to WrestleMania. What was that one?
That was 2K23.
Yeah, I played that. That one was pretty good. Yeah.
Okay. Most anticipated game for next year or coming soon. You got Death Stranding 2. Love it. Right? You got Ghost of Yotai. I don't even know how you say that, but Ghost of Yotail. I think that's how you say it. You got Grand Theft Auto 6. Then you got Metroid Prime 4. And you got Monster Hunter Wild. Who is the most anticipated game?
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto?
Easily. Yeah,
Easily?
Grand Theft Auto, yeah. Grand Theft Auto 5 came out. Man.
Grand Theft Auto, I think Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to make people...
Yeah. And you can make money on it now, right, too, right?
They putting gambling in it?
They got something where you can make money, I think something with crypto, yeah. Where you
I really hope they're not doing that.
Yeah, it's something. It's going to be something.
If they put gambling in it, people are going to be splitting their heads open trying to...
They're going to be in the strip club.
I really hope they don't put gambling in it because I think gambling is somehow in NBA 2K, and that's why people be playing the 2K Park or whatever it's called. But so you say Grand Theft Auto? Yeah, I say Grand Theft Auto. I say a second runner-up would probably be Metroid Prime 4. That's huge, but Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to definitely be the most anticipated game because Grand Theft Auto 5 came out when 2013.
I think so, and then
it's been like 10 plus years. Guys, that's all I got for you. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. Subscribe, and I'll catch y'all guys next time.